Shattered promises, the rain pelted against the windows of Helix Innovations, matching the rhythm of Vivian Reyes' anxious heartbeat as she made her way to the 32nd floor. 6 months into her internship at one of Boston's most prestigious marketing firms, and 5 months into a secret relationship with Dominic Foster, she couldn't ignore the growing knot in her stomach. Something had changed. Dominic had been distant all week. Their usual lunch meetings had been canceled. Texts responded, too, with terse one-word answers. When he finally called her to his office late Friday afternoon, his voice had been unnervingly professional. Vivian smoothed her charcoal pencil skirt, tucking a strand of her dark hair behind her ear as she approached his corner office. Through the glass walls, she could see him standing by the window, silhouetted against the stormy skyline, the posture of a man carrying the weight of an impossible decision. "You wanted to see me?" Vivian said, closing the door behind her. Dominic turned, his face a careful mask of corporate indifference that didn't match the man who had whispered dreams against her skin just weeks ago. At 32, he was the youngest senior marketing strategist in the company's history, with sharp features that matched his even sharper ambition. "Have a seat," he said, gesturing to the chair across from his desk without meeting her eyes. She remained standing. "Is everything okay?" Dominic straightened the already perfect stack of papers on his desk. "Richard Mercer called me into his office this morning. There's been talk about us. Speculation." "Oh." Her voice sounded small, even to her own ears. "And that's a problem." Mercer mentioned the executive position opening next quarter. He implied I'm being considered. He finally looked at her, his blue eyes as cold as the rain outside. "He also mentioned concerns about my judgment, about entanglements with interns." The word entanglement cut through her like glass. "That's what this was to you. An entanglement." "Vivian, be realistic. I've worked 7 years to get where I am." "You're just starting out," he sighed, running a hand through his perfectly styled hair. "This was fun, but we both knew it couldn't last." "Oh," she said quietly. "I didn't know that." Dominic checked his watch, impatience flickering across his face. "Look, you're talented. You'll land on your feet. But this company has a certain culture, a certain standard. The truth is, you don't really fit here. You're too ... He gestured vaguely idealistic. "Too soft for this world." Each word landed like a physical blow. Vivian felt her throat tighten, but refused to cry. Not here, not in front of him. "Dawn, I think it's best if we end this now," he continued, his voice gaining confidence as he retreated further into the persona of Dominic Foster, rising star. Cleanly, professionally. "You don't mean that," she whispered, searching his face for any trace of the man who had once told her she was his future. "I do." He turned back to the window. "I need to focus on my career. I need to find somewhere you belong." The dismissal was clear. Vivian stood frozen, the ground beneath her feet suddenly unstable. "Was any of it real for you?" she asked, her voice barely audible above the rain. Dominic didn't turn around. "We had fun. Now it's over. I have a meeting in 5 minutes." Backed toward the door, dignity the only thing keeping her upright. In the hallway, she finally allowed the tears to fall, not caring who might see. The carefully constructed future she had imagined crumbled around her the next morning. Her resignation letter sat on her supervisor's desk. By Monday, her desk was cleared, her company badge deactivated. Vivian Reyes walked out of Helix Innovations, for what she believed would be the last time, carrying nothing but a small box of personal items and the shattered pieces of her heart. What she didn't see was Dominic watching from his office window, his hand pressed against the glass a moment, of regret quickly buried beneath layers of ambition and self-preservation. Separate paths years passed like turning pages in different books. Vivian rebuilt her life in Portland, starting with freelance projects that barely paid rent. Her apartment doubled as an office, a card table desk pushed against the window. For better light, another rejection, she told her roommate Jenna, dropping a letter on their thrift store coffee table. "That's 12 this month." "They're lost," Jenna replied, sliding over a glass of wine. "What about that design you showed me yesterday? The one with the birds?" The design, an unconventional campaign for a local coffee shop, caught the attention of Benedict Walsh, founder of a small but respected agency. Within 2 years, Vivian became his partner in Catalyst Creative. Her campaigns won awards for their authenticity and emotional resonance. Meanwhile, Dominic climbed higher at Helix. He got his executive position, then another promotion. His corner office expanded to half the floor, but something was missing. Another. Recorder Richard Mercer congratulated him, raising a glass of scotch. "You've got the Midas touch, Foster." But at night, Dominic returned to an empty penthouse, surrounded by designer furniture, chosen by his decorator. Success tasted increasingly hollow. When Helix began losing major clients to a rising boutique agency called Catalyst Creative, Dominic didn't connect the dots until he saw Vivian's name in an industry magazine as marketing's rising star. The photograph showed her smiling confidently beside her latest campaign. She looked different, stronger, sure of herself. Dominic stared at the image longer than he cared to admit. Unexpected reunion. Helix Innovations was in trouble. 3 consecutive quarters of losses had shareholders panicking. The board called an emergency meeting. "We need new blood," announced Chairwoman Patricia Winters. "Someone innovative." We've acquired Catalyst Creative, and their founder will oversee our rebranding. Dominic felt the floor tilt beneath him. Catalyst. But that's the conference room door opened. Vivian entered wearing a tailored navy suit, her posture radiating quiet confidence. Her eyes met Dominic's briefly before addressing the room. "Hey, you for the welcome," she said. "I'm looking forward to working with all of you." After the meeting, Dominic lingered, watching others congratulate her. When the room emptied, he approached. "Vivian," he said, her name unfamiliar on his tongue after so long. "Dominic." Her smile was professional, revealing nothing. "It seems we'll be working together again. I didn't know that I'd be your boss." She gathered her folders. Life takes unexpected turns. He searched for the right words. "Vivian, about before the past is the past," she interrupted. "I'm here to do a job. I suggest we focus on that." She walked away, Dominic realized. The tables had completely turned. He was now the one watching her leave, uncertain of his place in her world. Unexpected reunion. Helix Innovations was in trouble. 3 consecutive quarters of losses had shareholders panicking. The board called an emergency meeting. "We need new blood," announced Chairwoman Patricia Winters. "Someone innovative. We've acquired Catalyst Creative, and their founder will oversee our rebranding." Dominic felt the floor tilt beneath him. Catalyst. But that's the conference room door opened. Vivian entered wearing a tailored navy suit, her posture radiating quiet confidence. Her eyes met Dominic's briefly before addressing the room. "Hey, you for the welcome," she said. "I'm looking forward to working with all of you." After the meeting, Dominic lingered, watching others congratulate her. When the room emptied, he approached. "Vivian," he said, her name unfamiliar on his tongue after so long. "Dominic." Her smile was professional, revealing nothing. "It seems we'll be working together again. I didn't know that I'd be your boss." She gathered her folders. Life takes unexpected turns. He searched for the right words. "Vivian, about before the past is the past," she interrupted. "I'm here to do a job. I suggest we focus on that." She walked away, Dominic realized. The tables had completely turned. He was now the one watching her leave, uncertain of his place in her world. Bridges and barriers working under Vivian proved challenging for Dominic. She valued collaboration over competition, transparency over tactics. In meetings, she acknowledged everyone's contributions, a stark contrast to Helix's cutthroat culture. "Your proposal is impressive," she told Dominic, after reviewing his pitch for a major client. "But it's missing something." "It's missing what?" he asked, defensive. "Heart," she replied simply. "People don't just buy products. They buy feelings, connections, stories." Slowly, reluctantly, Dominic began to see marketing and life through different eyes. He noticed how Vivian's team followed her, not from fear, but respect. He watched her mentor junior staff the way no one had ever mentored him. One night, Working late, Dominic found Vivian in the break room. "Why didn't you destroy me when you had the chance?" he asked. She considered this while stirring her tea. Revenge wasn't going to heal anything. Besides, you're good at what you do. I was awful to you. Yes, she agreed. You were. Regretted it every day since. She looked at him carefully. Have you? Or do you just regret getting caught in your own game? The question lingered between them, demanding honesty he wasn't sure he possessed. Full circle, 3 months into Vivian's leadership, Helix landed its biggest client in years. The office celebrated with champagne and catered food. Dominic found Vivian on the rooftop terrace, away from the crowd. "Congratulations," he said, joining her at the railing. "You've accomplished what none of us could." "It was a team effort," she replied. "A team you built. You've changed everything here, including me." Rain began falling lightly, an echo of that day years ago. "I was wrong," Dominic continued. "About you, about what matters. I chose ambition over authenticity and ended up with neither." Vivian turned to face him. "Why are you telling me this now?" "Because I need you to know that I see you. I see what I threw away." He didn't reach for her, didn't move closer. "I don't expect forgiveness. I just wanted to acknowledge the truth." For the first time, vulnerability replaced the corporate mask he'd worn for years. Vivian was quiet for a long moment. "I hated you for a long time," she finally said. "But hatred takes energy I'd rather spend elsewhere." "I understand." "No," she said, "I don't think you do. Forgiveness isn't about erasing the past. It's about not letting it dictate the future." She offered her hand not romantically, but as equals, colleagues, perhaps someday friends. 2 new beginnings, she suggested. Dominic took her hand, feeling something he hadn't felt in years. Hope. To new beginnings, he agreed. The rain continued falling around them, washing away the last remnants of what was, creating space for what might be.